What's up, guys? So my name's Martin Aguilera. Welcome to our video. This over here is my girlfriend, just munching on a couple of snacks before we get everything started. And first and foremost, I'm not sure if this is gonna be a regular thing or not, but we're gonna try to be as consistent as possible. And if not, then oh well, we're in college, we have things to do, but we're gonna try to do it the best that we possibly can. So we're gonna start this off with our beginner video, which was of us on the plane, and we were just kind of messing around. And it was gonna be like my whole introduction to my nicely edited video, but that didn't go as planned. So this is what it ended up turning into. Yeah, it was pretty crazy when we were about to land too, because that's when the plane started shaking around. And then I had my sister in the back because they ended up coming with us as well. And it was just, everybody was screaming. I wish I had some footage to throw in here for you guys so you can see how hectic it was. But once we got there, we were kind of confused as to what we should do, because we didn't, I don't think there was any Ubers in Cancun, was there? No Ubers. We just ended up going to this one taxi service. Yeah, it was like $50 for round trip. We ended up taking it though, because it was already like 4 in the afternoon already, or it was kind of late, and so we just wanted to get to our place and then set up shop and chill. We woke up the next morning, and what did we do? That was gonna be our day that we went to Escaret, wasn't it?
I feel like we had
or did we do something else?
I feel like we had a nothing day.
Did we? I don't think it was that day. I think that day we actually did something.
I don't know, but our next big activity was Escaret.
Yeah. First thing that we did was we ended up going into the lazy river, which was really cool actually. We were just floating around for a little bit, and then I'm not sure if that part is connected to the entire ocean. I feel like
it is.
I feel like it
it's
might be
salty.
Yeah, the water's super salty.
I thought it was not gonna be salty like in the cenotes, but it was so salty. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, and there's they give you a snorkel and then some goggles, and everybody has to wear like pink life jackets.
Also, the life jackets have the string down the middle that you have to tie, and
the most uncomfortable thing ever.
Much.
Yeah, like that thing just swatted my whole like nutsack to the left side of my leg, and it just pasted it there the entire time. I was just floating, and it was so uncomfortable.
Because the life jacket kind of like floats up, and then that thing
it pulls it down, so it's pretty much like anchored into your crotch. And if you disconnect that anchor, then the life jacket is just gonna be like up on your head, and you're just gonna look like like a mushroom floating on the water or something. But yeah, there was a good amount of animals that you can go and see there too. It's kind of I don't know how to feel about the fact that they have all of these like animals enclosed, but it was still kind of cool to see them. I mean, if it was
they had these giant sea turtles.
Yeah, I've never seen a sea turtle that big before.
They're huge. And they had smaller regular sea turtles. I don't know if they were babies or if they're just small.
Yeah. But
Martin put his camera in there so he'll insert that clip here. And you're not allowed to do that, by the way. But I don't know. Martin just does things you're not supposed to do. So
we just do a bunch of stupid things sometimes. But yeah, I put the camera in there, and then one of the baby turtles came up to the glass. It was so cute.
Yeah, he thought it was food probably. So but Martin got his shot.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of other cool landmarks that you can go to see in there as well. All right, so the thing that we did the next day was by far one of the best experiences that we had in the entire trip to Cancun, I think, at least, because it was just awesome. It was whale shark snorkeling.
It takes like a good probably an hour to get out into where they were at, and
40 minutes to an hour.
And then we got there, and on the way you get to see like dolphins and what are those big
Oh, the manta rays?
There you go. We got to see those. Those are huge.
Yeah,
like,
we didn't actually swim with those though. They were just kind of on the surface, flapping around.
Yeah.
We're just like, oh my god.
Really cool.
And then so it was cool. Like we had gotten there.
We were the first to go down. Though.
Yeah, we were the first to go. Not the first to go from everybody on the whole trip.
But like our boat.
But our boat. Yeah, we were the first
ones
from our boat.
And we're like,
we're just like, what? Oh my god, we're finally gonna do this. But it was crazy because like when we got there, when the boat had gotten there to where the whale sharks were at, you just see like their mouths like sticking out of the water, and my sister saw one of them and she was like, oh my god, like I can't believe like I'm gonna do this. Their positioning anyways is they would try to get you to the front of the front face of the whale shark, and then he would say alawa. You would go in. We're just chilling in the water, and then you can just kind of see it like coming in the distance from like the dark ocean, and his mouth is open super wide, and it was fantastic. I loved it.
They drive you to Isla Mujeres, which was our next stop that day. With Isla Mujeres was the best part of the entire trip because it's so pretty. Like Cancun got nothing on Isla Mujeres. Isla Mujeres is just so nice. The water is literally green, like crystal green or blue. We had like a lunch, I guess it was. I don't even know what time it was, but it was probably like a lunch, and they gave us like ceviche and like salsa and chips and guacamole and like just a meal, which I didn't eat also. Pretty much there for I don't know how long, maybe like an hour with the boat, and we were kind of just jumping off of the boat, which we have some footage of that. And awesome. You can see how the water is just so pretty. So that was pretty fun. And then we went directly to book our golf cart. So we got to the golf cart place, which was pretty cheap if you ask me. The golf cart thing was amazing. It was literally the best thing about being on the island because you get you don't have to rent like a car or anything. You can literally just get around the entire island on this little golf cart, and it's just so fun because everyone is on a golf cart, and a lot of them have like mopeds and stuff too. Yeah,
around the entire island there's a bunch of palm trees that have coconuts on them, and this was like the first time that I have ever seen this before, so I got super excited. And just the fact that there was somebody off the side of the road selling coconuts, and it was crazy too because it was I think
like 10.
Yeah, he was like a 10-year-old kid who was like selling his coconuts, and I'm just like, heck yeah, dude. I was like, when I was driving it and I stopped the golf cart, and I was just like, you know, everybody's gonna get a coconut on me. No, I'm just kidding, everybody paid for themselves. But yeah, so he was there and he was fixing up his coconuts, and in the beginning he just makes a hole, you drink it, and then afterwards he cracks it, and then you can eat the flesh that's on the inside. I got some footage of that too, so I'll be putting that on the side. And there's a crap ton of speed bumps on the island too, and I asked everybody to be in the shot, and the people in the front, including our driver, which was my sister's husband, he turned around to get his face in the shot too, and then he completely ignored the fact that there was a speed bump right in front of us, and I think we were going like 15, 20 miles per hour, and we hit that thing, and we kind of just all flew forward. We were scared.
Yeah. We were so scared. I was so scared when he was driving.
The next thing that we did, and this was on a separate day too, but I feel like you can't go to Cancun and not experience Chichen Itza. Come on, you have to go. It's so amazing, especially like the rich history behind it. So we ended up getting a guided tour, and this trip was one of the it was one of the least expensive that we did on the entire trip actually. It was probably like $40 per person, and then you have your meal included, and then you have your tour guide, and
it takes you to two places. It takes you to Chichen Itza, and it takes you to one cenote.
To one of the cenotes.
So it's kind of two in one.
Yeah, you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. Before we went in, actually, we got an umbrella because it was boiling hot that day.
So hot.
Yeah, and I felt bad that we ended up breaking it too. So we were kind of just walking around the entire park with this like
broken umbrella.
Yeah, with the half of the umbrella sticking out, and then the other one was just flattened out. So yeah, I think we have that in one of the videos too. But
it's just
we'll
hot.
show it. Yeah. And the history in general is just really interesting. So if you guys have a chance, then I definitely suggest that you go and you listen in on everything.
And then we just walked around, because there's other parts in Chichen Itza that aren't just the pyramid. But we walked around these other places where there's giant pillars of just statue things that the Mayans built. And we also saw these men actually making some of the
masks
that they sell. or not building them, like actually carving
Yeah, they
them.
were carving them out of wood.
So Mark took a video of that, and they charged us like $2.
And yeah, so they were carving out the mask, and I was just like, hey, is it okay if I record your work? And then they were just like, yeah, I can do that for some cash. And I'm just like,
we only had like
yeah,
literally $2.
yeah, we had a little bit. So we of course we weren't stingy, and we ended up giving them I think it was like 50, 100 pesos or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, so after Chichen Itza, we got on the tour bus and they drove us to the cenote. I don't know what the cenote was called, the one we went to.
Yeah, they have some really long names. They're kind of hard to pronounce.
Yeah, so we ended up going to the cenote, and it was actually started raining once we were in the cenote, which was pretty cool.
It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
They're so pretty,
awesome.
they're so blue, they're so deep, and they tell you, the one thing they tell you is get life jackets because the water is really heavy.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh,
what does that mean?
Who needs life jackets? Like, that's ridiculous. And then we go in the water, and it's so
Yeah,
heavy.
you can't float.
So you're pretty much
strategy.
just there, and they had a giant diving board, and then you could just jump in the water. And then we were there for about an hour or so before our tour bus had to take us back, because going to Chichen Itza actually took a long time. It was like 4 hours or something. It was a pretty long road trip to get there from Cancun. So then we ended up getting back super late that night also.
All right, so the last thing that we did on our list was Tulum. We had to take a taxi because we were scared little babies. Supposed to take a rental car, but
I didn't want to do that because my brother had told us about how many tickets they give out to tourists.
But yeah, so they don't have license plates, and pretty much the cops are looking for any little mistakes caused by tourists while they're out on the road, and they will stop you and they will give you a ticket. And I think this usually translates into like hundreds of dollars just so they can get off your back, and you won't have any crime history in a place that you're not even from. So
I just wanted to avoid that,
Yeah.
and I did not want to rent a car. So we ended up just hiring a taxi driver to take us and drive us everywhere instead.
to get to the actual cenotes, it was about like an hour and a half away from where we were at. Do you remember? Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Pretty
an hour and a half, and we were just we kind of just thought that it was gonna be a place where you get into, because it was like a park of cenotes like owned by this huge old corporation, but these things were like in people's backyards and they were making profit off of it. So it was like pretty cool because it was just this one giant thing that I'm guessing. I'm not sure if the houses were there before, but yeah, there was big old holes in their backyard.
You pretty much got lucky if you had a cenote in your backyard.
Yeah. The first one that we stopped at was Gran Cenote, which is a really nice one. Like you go in there and it's a bat cave pretty much. So you're in the water and you're swimming through a bat cave with all these freaking bats like on the ceiling, and they're just flying around and screeching, and I'm just there like, oh my god. Like
It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All of them are really pretty though.
And the water is super, it's really, really blue, first of all, and then also they go down for miles and miles into like this deep dark abyss. It's crazy. So that was the first one that we went to, and then afterwards we ended up going to Cenote Calavera, which was another personal favorite. You guys should definitely go
That's really
if
cool.
you're out there. Yeah, so this one is more or so just the water is
a scuba diving one.
Yeah,
this is meant for scuba diving.
It's meant for scuba diving, but also it's called Cenote Calavera because it actually looks like a skull from above. So you have the giant mouth opening and then the two eyes on either side, and the eyes are so fun to jump into. It's freaking awesome. They're really narrow, so you have to really watch your head when
dive in there.
Yeah, they're really narrow. You have to watch out when you're jumping through these holes. But they have a sign. It kind of gets your adrenaline going in a way, because there's a sign posted on top of it that says jump here, and then you just look into the hole and it's super dark.
It was scary though. You can't see anything when you look into the hole. It's just a dark hole that says jump here.
Yeah.
So it was kind of scary, but it's not that bad. Once you jump the first time, you just jump so many times.
Yeah.
And in the big giant hole, there's this giant wooden ladder that they built. So you can kind of just climb down. So she just climbed down through that ladder. And they also have this giant swing rope, which is really cool. We got
a lot of people don't use it to swing though. They just use it to take
pictures.
They use it for Instagram.
So that was It was fun.
But anyways, so yeah, we just came home and then we just chilled after that. And then did we do anything else or was that it?
That was it.
I think that was it. Huh?
The next day our flight wasn't until late because we got back to LA area like around 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So we still had kind of a half day in Cancun, and we just basically woke up. We went to go get breakfast, and then we finally, I think at like 3 or 4, we went back to the airport, and then we just flew back.
Yeah.
5.5 hour flight. So
yeah.
That was pretty much our trip. We
got
to LA really late at night, and Martin's dad picked us up.
So I'm just gonna end this video with this little guy because he's been wanting to get up in our video for the longest time.
This is Bailey.
Yeah.
He's our Japanese Akita.
Hey, Bailey.
Here, let me. Bailey. Hi, Bailey. Say hi.
Good, buddy. Everybody wants to say hi.
I'm only 10 months, and I love my mom and dad. The end.
His neck is so warm. Yeah. But anyways, like and subscribe, comment. Catch you guys later, bros. Lates. You gonna say bye or what?
Bye.